like this video so far, like and subscribe. Hit that like, punch it, hit the subscribe. I need it. This is going to help me out. I need all the help I can get. I want to get up there. I want to be able to be a YouTube fan. That's what I promised my mama I'd do it. Or a YouTube star. So I'm hoping to get on YouTube. Like I said, what I really want to do is just make people happy. I like building this stuff, and it gives me something to do, and it helps me with my PTSD. So anytime I can get any help, if you guys got any questions, give me a holler. I'm glad to answer your questions. This one, I wanted to make it so you guys could see how I did it, because I thought it was really cool. I also thought I was one of the first ones, but I'm not, and I'm good with that. So if you like this, stay tuned, because now you're going to get the second part of the build. You're going to build the swing, so stand by. So the first thing you got to do is drill the hole for the leg to sit onto for the top piece. I've already drilled this one and put a screw in so I could hold it. And I'm going to take this one, I'm going to drill it out, go down, back up, change my drill bit. I'm going to put this one in. Make sure I'm level where I was supposed to be. I'm going to drive that one home. All right, there's one. Now, you take your leg, the brace on the outside, just like so. You got your brace there. You're gonna make sure the two tips are together when you put this together. You put the two tips together on the table. I'm gonna take this up, move it over. Gets in the way. Okay, now I'm gonna line these two up here. I'm also gonna put another board underneath, just to make it level. It makes it easier to set this up if you have it level. So if you notice, I got both ends together. Now I'm going to take my swing top and the other leg, and I'm going to place it on there. But I'm going to do one side at a time. Got that one. I'm going to have to change my drill bit again. Normally I have two drills set up, but unfortunately for me, my battery is gone, and this is the only one I have at the moment. So I make that drill. Grab my bit, grab a 2.5 inch screw, or 3, whatever you have, just as long as they don't stick through. Drive her home. Now you can do it from the outside or the inside. I found that out on my other one. I'm going to make sure my two ends are together, and I'm going to drill her one more time, or screw it in. And I get her lined up. Right there. Now, I thought this was a newer project, but apparently it's out there. So, you know, there's many different versions of this from what I've seen. I haven't seen one like this, but I've seen some that are pretty close. Matthew Peach does one. I've seen one by another up-and-coming person on the YouTube, and I don't know who, but this one I did on my own, and it was before I'd ever seen it. So I'm glad that there's more out there. But in my area, I took it up, and I know it's going to be a seller because as I was showing the picture around to the people at the gas station that I get gas for every morning, because they always ask me, hey, what'd you make last night? I said, oh, I made this really cool planter swing. And they're like, oh, really? Show me pictures of what I did. A lady in the store was like, oh my God, how much you getting for those? 120? And I was like, sure. Why not? I'm sure I could get more for it. But I don't know where to price it. I'm still I was debating it. Because I'm not trying to gouge anybody. That's not me. I'm not about that. But anyhow, this is what your legs are supposed to look like. Now, I got way too much stuff on my table to put this up. So I'm going to have to do some cleaning. So stand by. Oh, Brad here from Boards from Headquarters. Hey, it's day 2 of this build. I lost track of time the other day, kind of run out of some time, but we got to work on that swing planter box. Now, I got the base right here. This piece is 5 1/4 by 14. This one's 2 by 14. It's going to be 7 1/4 total when it comes to length. And I'm going to glue the two together because it was a piece of tongue and groove I had left over. But that's what's going to be my base. Now you can make these bigger. You just gotta have to adjust your arms for your swing. You're gonna have to adjust your side pieces. But I made all mine 14 inches. They're all the same, whether it be the box. The only difference is these two little side pieces. And these, that's where I got the 5 1/2. They're all 7 inches is what I was gonna say. There we go. So, when it's all said and done, you're going to have a box like such. And then, you're going to put glue in. You're going to put these two little 2 by 2s. They're also, I believe they are 5 inches as well. Tape measure. Let me move my tape. So, once we get that part done, you're going to put glue on the bottom of this one, glue it in here in the corner, and then it's going to get, well, once these are all together, they're all going to get screwed and glued and clamped. And it'll be like that. Then you take 8 14-inch 1 by 2s. I use cedar. I cut them up. These are all scraps off my shop. You should notice I got all kinds of cedar scrap around here. These are all my scraps. So I'm going to take them and I'm going to leave a 1/4 inch between each one of these all the way across. It takes 8 for the 14 that I have. Then for the arms, I went and I grabbed a bigger piece of scrap because I really didn't like the 2-inch look. I went with a 3-inch across. So it gave me an extra inch. It hung off over the sides, which didn't hurt my feelings. I tapered it. I made the top round. And I made it to whatever this back fits. Because these are all going to get nailed or screwed to the back board. You have 8 of them just like this, standing up, 1/4 inch apart. You're also going to have 1 of these 14-inch 1 by 2s that go across the back. Now, it doesn't have to be the same size. You can use thinner. You can use whatever scrap you had. I like the thinner look. I just happen to have this one that was sitting in my hand. It's part of this back. But if I was actually putting this together, I'd probably use a thinner one. But at the same time, I would still drill all these in when I go to put this. When I put this in the back, I would drill these pieces because cedar does split. And I repeat that, cedar splits. I used 1-inch screws to connect these together for the back. When I put the brace on the back, I used a 2 or a 3-inch screw and some glue to keep these little pieces here on for the arms. When you put your legs on, you put your armrests on, you glue the top, and you're gonna put either a nail it. You could either brad nail it, screw it. Doesn't matter how you do it, but I don't like the screws. If I'm gonna hang this thing, I want it to hold, so I'm gonna use screws. I use my eye bolts here. I used 1-inch eye bolts for these when I go to put these on. Now, I also have one already made. However, it doesn't have the bottom the same as this one. I made this one about a week before I made all these because I was using it for a demo model. Now, what I found out is that right here, when you put these and you're trying to match these up, it's easier to use one solid board. And wherever the gap is, that 1/4 inch, I took out with my table saw and I cut straight down and leaving that 1/4 inch down there on the bottom. So it's one whole piece. As you're cutting it, you got a 2 by 2 here, you mark it. You mark the same measurements that you got over here. So if I was going to do this again, I would take my pencil and by every one of these, wherever that gap is, I just put a pencil mark there. And I'm going to line up this on my table saw, and I'm going to rip that 1/4 or 3/8 of an inch out of there, and that board's going to go right there, right in front. It's going to match this up perfectly. It's what I did on the one outside. Now, like I said, when you do these ovens like this, I did these individually, and look what happens. You go to push on it, and they pop right off. I didn't glue them because I wanted to try it. This was just a demo model. But this is what it looks like. That's why I went to the screw or that one hole solid piece. That way I can glue it. I can screw it right on the outside. You don't see the screws. Or you can add another board on the bottom. And when you put this board on, you got 1 inch to screw in and it'll make it nice and tight. I like that look as well. And it was a whole lot solider. So it depends on you how you want to build it. I like to taper this here, these arms. I go around and I cut this and try to make a circle on my bandsaw. I'm not great with circles. I started just nipping off the corners, making triangles, and then just rounded it over with my router. And then on the other side, I took like a 10-inch miter right here just to give it a little bit of width. What I should have done was brought it back to this one. Doesn't really matter. The other thing you can do, I didn't do it because it took up too much space. You could put another little board in here to give this more support. I ended up putting my eye bolts here and right in the center of this, where this 2x2 is. You could drill that out, add an eye bolt. So as you can see, this is a chain I bought. What I didn't know was once you snip this, no matter where you snip it, I'm gonna go. On mine, I made these little chains. I made 24 of these links. So you'd start, 2 of them make 1 link. So I went 12 links total. So give me 24, and I did it both ways. Or you just sit up here and you get one and you match it up with the other one and then cut. That's the easiest way to do it. But you got to make 2 of them that way. Now, when I cut this, watch what happens. I'll cut it and this whole thing turns. Normally that doesn't happen. On regular chain, if it was a single chain, it wouldn't move at all. And when I cut this, it just fell apart, and I was so aggravated. And it depended on what side I cut that chain on. And I was like, wow, this one seemed to stick. But the other side, if I cut it, if you notice, when you cut this piece is now ruined. You can't do anything with it because it won't stay. It just swivels. So that doesn't work for me. So now I have to nip that little link out of there. So I just took it, cut it off, and I'll start again on the next one. Now I should have threw that in the trash can because I'm probably going to step on it, but I'll vacuum it up later. Won't be good on my vacuum. So I'll make the other one the same length. So that way I have 2 of them matching. There we go. So this one here is going to be my cut length. That's that side. See how it fell right off? I didn't do anything, even touch that one. That's why I didn't like this chain. I thought it would be different, but it's not. I lose 1 inch every time I cut this because you can't mount it after you cut it once. Now, the other thing I learned while doing this is you can hit, once you put the eye bolt in, let me see if I got an eye bolt, stand by. So the 2 ways to put this on, you're gonna drill it. Recommend an 1/8 inch bit or 1/8 inch drill bit. Drill your hole. Open up your eye hook to where you got an opening. There's just a little bitty opening right there. Now, when you get that open, you go back over to wherever you're working on, and you screw it in. Now, I told you this was just my sample one, but I don't have enough time tonight to finish the other one because I'm running out of daylight and I got to work in the morning. So, as I'm putting this in, I'm going to hook the chain here, and I'm going to hook the other one. I'm going to make another drill right here. I'm going to put another eye hook right on this side. This ain't the one I'd be using because this one is just one that's messed up. But I'd be drilling it right there. Like I said, this table is not meant to hang. This one was meant to be on a shelf or on the wall. But I can show you the difference. I didn't use screws in this one. I used nails. And it didn't hold it. I have to redo it. So I'm just going to show you on this one. All the FUPA others I made. Most people won't show you their mess ups. I don't really mind being a mess up today. I screwed it up. I'll admit it. I forgot I got to open this one up. Now to open these eye hooks, I recommend using an S hook. If you have one, it's easy. You just open it up. But to get them closed, all you do is take your pliers, get a good grip on your eye bolt where the gap is, and you close it back up. You just pinch it, and it'll go closed. Just like such. Now, I don't really recommend that way. It's not my favorite. I'd rather have to do it with S hooks where you can bend them right over. I don't have any on hand right now. I plan on buying some, but that was something I learned yesterday, that because of this, I wouldn't have bought this chain if I could do what I thought I could do with it, and it doesn't allow me to. But if I had the hooks, it would be so much easier, because all I'd have to do is hook them on this one, hook them on this one, snip, snip, done. But this way, it makes it hard, because you got to open up the eye hooks, you got to put them in, open up the eye hooks, and then close them. Not the end of the world, but it's not fun either. Now, I could have mounted the middle of this. Say this is my middle, and we're hanging. Now, the easiest way to do this is with one of them S hooks, because this is my middle center piece right there. If I'd put it up there, I'd be golden on that rod that goes across. But I don't have it. I don't have the S hook, so I can't do that. I could put a screw and a washer in there and screw it in there. I didn't like that look, and I thought it was kind of cheesy, so I'm going to wait till I have the S hooks. So, like I said, I hope you learned something out of this video, because I know I did. I'm sorry I didn't finish this one, but it's self-explanatory. You can do this. This is easy. Now to get this, I drew me an 1.5-inch line off them 14-inch pieces. This was a 14-inch, and I went an 1.5 inches down. I just drew me a line. And then I just kind of went with it with my either a jigsaw. You can use the bandsaw. You don't even have to cut them. You can leave them straight. I've seen them done both ways. I like the curved look. Some people don't. I like the round. I made sure I rounded all my edges. But like I said, when that lady seen that at the gas station, she's like, $120. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And I know it's selling it cheap. I could get more out of it, but I'm not. It only stands 2 foot. I don't have that much invested other than boards and some screws and a chain. But you figure material-wise, I got about, if I had to go buy it, I'd say $30 if I had to buy material. But you could make that. You could make money off that project. I'm telling you right now. Them people went crazy for it. Now, if they're hitting in your area, sell them. I would. This is Brad from Orders from Headquarters, signing out. Like and subscribe. I'll see you on my next video. It's coming up. It's going to be a good one. You're going to like it. Trust me. Have a good day. Semper Fi.